Hi, I'm Mecca. I'm here with TRSHY, and I'm ready to talk some trash. What's one thing being broke taught you? I don't ever want to be broke again. You should get your feet done. If you don't have the money to get your hands done, you need to get your toes done. Because trying to lay up and have a man looking at busted toes is crazy. And having been there and had to have socks on, that was like, and then they'd be trying to be sexy and pull your socks off, and you gotta be like, no. I personally like to stick my foot in a man's mouth anyway, so my toes have to stay done. And I like to have acrylic on all 10 toes. I need them to shape that big toe and all my little toes as well. What's something weird that you enjoy? I like watching the pimple popping video. I like watching the dilated pore wieners. You know what I'm talking about? That's not how you say it. Pore wieners? Wiener pores. It's like a huge blackhead, and like it looks like a pore, but it's like not lifted. So the way you even have to pop it, you have to like push the skin down and bring it up. And then I like watching the videos where like people's feet are really fucked up, and they have to like really like, it's like fungus and shit, and you gotta like get in there. You gotta get in there and like scrape the fungus off. This has to happen in a doctor's office though. You can't go to the shop and get that done. What's the pettiest thing you've done after a breakup? I slashed someone's tires. That's petty. I slashed his tires, I'm not gonna lie. And someone told me that this wasn't true, but at the time I was under the impression you're supposed to slash 3 because if you slash all 4, insurance won't pay for it. I didn't stay to find out if that's true or not, but I did only put 3 tires down. What's the most surprising thing you've learned about yourself recently? I feel like I knew pretty much everything about myself. One thing that I did learn was, I cut my hair randomly like 6 months ago, and after like having relatively long hair my whole life, and I thought that my head was too big for like short hair, and it's not. It's still pretty big, but it looks all right. I was literally sitting in the shop, like I was supposed to go in there and get highlights, and I just had like this weird India Ari moment. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm not my hair, like cut it all off. And the girl who was doing my hair thought I was like having a mental break. It was the craziest thing, but I was like, God spoke to me in that moment. I had to get that shit off my head. What's the most awkward way you've tried to impress someone? I faked like I liked anime, and then fucked around and started liking some animes. But at first I was like, this don't make no sense. And then I fake way started One Piece, and then realized that there is literally 1,000 episodes of that shit, and was like, oh, actually I'm not gonna finish this. Looks from the side like, what you mean? What you mean? It's just too much. It's just too much. No, okay, so I had like, when I was deep in it, I was watching Naruto for the dude, I was watching Naruto for the nigga, and One Piece. I found this random anime called Tanya the Evil, which is like, it's so niche, but it's like about World War II. It's like he's supposed to be like a very evil general, but he dies. He's reincarnated as this little tiny girl in an orphanage, and then she becomes like the general of like the other side before the good side, but she's still evil because she's a reincarnated version of this man. And it only has like 1 season. I used to watch it on, what is that, Kiss Anime, back when it used to give your computer like fucking viruses and shit. Fucked around and got one. I was like in college, and my mom was so mad at me, she had trying to get that shit fixed. But that is such a good anime. I have not heard of anyone ever bring it up. I'm the only person I know who ever sat there and watched it. And I also like Death Note before they made that stupid ass movie with Lakeith Stanfield. No shade to Lakeith, but that was bad. They didn't need to do that. Is it okay to do wife things as a girlfriend? Absolutely not. I feel like we can elaborate. I feel like, why are you doing wife things for a man who is not your husband? If he wanted to marry you, then he's gonna do that. But outside of, I guess just being regular, I'm not finna clean no man's house who's not doing certain things for me. I'm not finna, I wanted to say be nice, but I'm lying. I'm a lover girl. I will be nice to you. But I feel like, why are you cooking for that man and he not taking you on dates? Why are you cooking? You should be on dates. You should be going to a restaurant. You shouldn't have to be making meals when you could go to a decent restaurant and get a meal for like $20. But I do live in Houston. I know everyone else is probably not the same. What's the shadiest compliment you've ever received? I'm thinking of the one I heard that someone else received recently, but that's not my compliment to say. The shadiest compliment I've ever received, this is problematic, but this boy, I think people think I'm tall when I like take pictures, and so I give off stallion. Like, and when I got out the car, he was like, oh, you're hella little. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I thought she was big, like I thought she was a big girl. Like, I was like, but I was like, what does that mean? He was like, no, I thought you were tall, but I also thought you were bigger. And I think it's because my cheeks are kind of chubby, but I mean, I was like, okay. I was like, how tall did you think I was? He was like, I thought you were like 5'10". I'm actually 5'4". I'm not tall at all. I felt like that was a little shade. And then he was looking at me crazy for like half the date. And I didn't think it was gonna go nowhere because why does my height matter? What's the pettiest thing you've done to prove a point? I cash apped someone $2 because I didn't like how we were like going bar for bar. You know how like when you are hanging out with friends and it's like, if I get this Uber, then you get the next Uber. We're not necessarily talking money or trying to like keep up. So someone had sent me like a text basically saying, can you send the $2? And I sent the $2 to be petty. And then I never talked to them again. Because don't fucking ask me to cash app you $2. And that's what I'm saying, like, I know, but that's why I did it, because it was like, yeah, you're gonna get 75 cents off this. What's the biggest lie you had to tell for a friend? My homegirl was being bad, and I told her nigga I didn't know what was going on. She's a lovely lady outside of all of that. You know what, I will say they're still together. So, and it did come out, she did eventually get caught up, and she did have to come out and tell all the truth, and he said, you know what, I love you, girl, I ain't gonna leave you. So I feel like, you know, it all worked out. That was God's plan. Shit, y'all take the niggas back all the time. Sometimes niggas gotta take their girl back. What do you miss the most about your ex? Not a bitch ass thing. I don't miss my ex at all, actually. This is tea on myself. My ex has gone viral and popped up on my timelines before, and him and his girl is trying to do like content creation. And the times that it's came up on my timeline, I have watched the video and been like, LOL. I'm doing what y'all doing, but y'all ain't doing it successfully. That's funny. What can we look forward to on your upcoming podcast? Myself and Jamila are dropping a podcast. We're gonna drop our first episode on November 7th. It's called Unhinged and Immoral, and we're really excited. We plan to talk shit like we usually do outside the guides of TikTok community guidelines, so we can actually say nigga instead of having to say N-word on the app. We don't have to worry about getting our videos flagged for talking too much shit or making people mad. And so we just want you guys to tune in. We're really excited about it. We'll be under, but shout out to Melissa Diamond for hitting me up. I had made a video on TikTok being like, I want to start a podcast, but I want to do it correctly. I don't want to have to do like the bootleg shit and record on my phone. And Melissa is a podcast producer. She's real decorated, and she reached out to me and said, let's do it. So we're definitely ready to work, and we're definitely ready for y'all to tune in. What's the dumbest thing you believed as a child? My mom is a church lady, and I mean, I grew up going to church like 3-4 times a week, being in church on Sundays till like 3-4 o'clock p.m. And the craziest thing, the dumbest thing that I believed all the way until I was 13 years old was that Santa Claus was real, because my mom told me that Santa and Jesus was best friends, and you don't see Jesus and you believe in Jesus, so you don't have to see Santa Claus and you can believe in Santa Claus. She had me looking so dumb, arguing with people like, no, Santa is real. I believe in Jesus and Santa. Like, why would you do that, girl? What's your biggest pet peeve? I don't like when you're sitting next to someone and they got wax in their ear and it's like building up. I don't like that at all. I don't like when I can see the plaque build up on your teeth. I don't want to, I just wouldn't want your mouth next to me, because I feel like there are so many dental tools relatively available. I know people be like, oh, that's, what is it? Elitist. You can get a scraper from the dollar store. All my pet peeves have to do with hygiene. I don't like when people smack at the table, like if you're chewing and we're sitting across from each other and I can see your food being chewed up and smashed in your mouth. That's gonna disgust me. This is really petty, but I don't hate it as much, because as a Black girl, I understand. But when the gel kind of builds up on the side of your edges, that's really frustrating to me, because it happens to me. And when it does, it stresses me out. And so when I see it on others, I want to be tell them what brands they can use, that doesn't happen. It's like a Black lady on the cover. You get it at the beauty supply. It's one of the edge controls, and they put it behind the counter because it's one of the more expensive ones. The little thing, it's a white cup, and it's a Black lady on the front. It has black writing, and it's usually behind the counter in front, because they are like $15 for the little thing. But it holds all day. It has no flake. You can go to sleep, rub your head around, and it still won't be fuzzy. I did my hair, I did this on Saturday. I went to the tailgate, I went to a music festival. All I did was just wrap it down every night. And I'm not flaky. Another one, I don't really have a problem with taco roots, but it's not, this is why I can't wear my hair straight, because if you sweat, I sweat really bad for my roots. This is another reason I cut my hair. I sweat really bad for my roots. So if your hair is growing out, that piece that is it's like the afro and the rest of your hair is straight. That's the reason I can't wear my real hair straight, because I was having that issue, and I don't like the way that looks. And my hair personally is not thick enough to like camouflage it. You know, if you have like a thicker texture of hair that's kind of yakkied out, you can make it blend, but I can't do that. So I don't like it when I see people with like, I guess, thinner hair who's like mine, where it's like you see it's like a puff. What's worse, emotional cheating or physical cheating? I think that's situational. I think it depends on the person. Both of these options are very shitty. You shouldn't cheat at all, obviously. If we're going, that man whose girl's trying to do my job did both, so I can tell you how both feel, honestly. The emotional cheating really gets to you because it's just like, I don't understand how you live in two lives. Like, how do you have two girlfriends? It's so much to have to talk to one person every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you maintaining two parallel conversations, like that's a lot of work. So already I think you're crazy. I think you have multiple personalities because I don't even have the energy to exert and do, I can't have too many niggas. I don't even want to have more than one at this point, honestly, because it's just too much work. But then physical cheating, my ex cheated on me in the bathroom at Moby's and fucked a bitch raw. And if you're familiar with Baltimore, Maryland, Moby's is like a hole-in-the-wall bar. That nigga is disgusting. I will never let it go. I went to the clinic at Towson University, within minutes of finding out. Like, I got up, I left my class and walked right to the clinic. It was ridiculous. And there's so much cooties out there with everything going on. Like, there's so many different things you can get. You can get an STD, you can get an STI. The STIs can fuck up your skin. The STDs can fuck up your fucking immune system. Like, these are both hard. But I guess if we have to pick one, I would pick emotional. I would pick emotional because I do care about my physical health. I'm very proactive. I think that you should always, body counts don't matter unless something's, you're not clean. I think that's the thing that people need to be focused on. Safe sex is great sex. It's the best sex. So I'm gonna say physical cheating. What's the most awkward thing you've had to explain to somebody? I didn't have to explain anything, but I technically played it off. When I was like a sophomore in college, we have this thing at Hampton University, shout out Hampton, called 100 Days. It's 100 days before these seniors graduate. It's basically just another excuse to party. So I went to a pregame at this house of some boys who are part of a Greek-led organization. I will not out them for that. And I didn't realize, I was kind of green at the time. I didn't realize he was trying to talk to me for real. And obviously we're participating in mad underage drinking. So we kind of did a two-piece or like a three-piece. I was with my roommate, my homegirl, Elantra, and myself, and there were three dudes. So we all was like hanging out. Elantra and one of them was on the couch. My roommate at the time and the other one went to the room, because the two roommates and one of the boys who lived in the house, we went to his room. I really did think he was gonna watch a movie because we had been drinking all day, partying. I really did. I'm not even lying to you. I thought we was gonna watch a movie because they were like, let's go watch a movie, cool. So yeah, we did not watch a movie. We didn't do anything, but he whipped his dick out, and I was so confused. Again, I was raised like madly in church. Like, I lost my virginity my freshman year of college, so I was like, he was like, just kiss it, and I was like, and just kiss it. And I remember I did tell him this. I was like, it's so nice looking. It looks pretty and stuff. And he was like, oh, thank you. Like, that'll make you want to kiss it more. And I was like, no. And then my mama FaceTimed me in the middle of this interaction. Cross my heart, hope to die. Like I said, my mother's a church lady. So, but I'm also drunk, like, again, underage drinking. So he doesn't take that as the cue to put his dick away. Instead, I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm trying to keep it cool. And she's like, what are you doing? Where are you at? I'm like, oh, I'm at my friend's house. She's like, oh, where's your friend? This nigga gets in, like, mind you, again, I just want to make clear, like, she can only see our heads. She can only see our heads. He still has his dick on hard underneath the camera. He gets into the camera, and I was like, that's how you know they be teaching them how to talk during like the organization stuff, because he got on that camera and talked to my mother for like 5-10 minutes. Oh, how are you doing, man? My name is this name. I'm part of this organization. I'm this year at Hampton. He gave her a whole spiel, dick on hard, completely exposed underneath. I'm sitting there, I don't even know what to do. And she's like, oh my God, okay, no. So hands the phone back to me, I hang up. I literally am like, okay, Mom, I gotta go. And then after that, I ran to the bathroom. I ended up breaking his bong, and I had to leave. But I will never forget that he talked to my mom like his dick out the whole time. It's so crazy. What's crazy is she still be asking about. She's like, how was that young man? I had talked to that one time. I'm like, that young man needs to go to hell, and that's what she needs to know. I never told her. She might find out if she see this, but she not on Instagram, girl. She not on Instagram, child. She ain't gonna see this. Somebody might tell her because they be trying to snitch on me sometimes, but I feel like my social media has gotten big enough that she just is like, they can't really snitch on me no more because she know I be talking crazy. She calls it like you cuss on the internet. That's what she refers to my stuff as. What do you bring to the table? Oh, the age-old question. I could be cliche and say I am the table. I could be even more cliche and say I don't bring anything to the table. But I think that at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what you bring to the table if you're gonna get a nigga who actually likes you. He doesn't care. Y'all be dating people who don't like you, and like, so it doesn't matter what you bring to the table because someone is gonna like lock in if they want to. They're gonna set your table if they like your table. What was your worst birthday? I'm one of the people who be celebrating my birthday all month and my birthday that weekend. We got jumped my birthday weekend the first year we moved to Houston. We got jumped, me and my cousins got jumped at the club at bar 2200, and that was 2021, by like 15 bitches. I will say we held our own. They had me on no face shots. We did walk out of the club with our wigs in our hands. I mean, it's a running joke amongst some of the promoters in Houston who like we're still cool with, that they don't want to make us mad every time we be outside because we saw y'all fight like 15 people. What basically happened was, my cousin Shantae bumped into someone, walking through the club. She apologized to the girl immediately, but the girl was clearly already drunk and wanted to have a problem. The way that this club, Bar 2200, was made, I believe they closed down now, is that you have the sections on the inside and then they have the section on the outside. So we were on the inside more at the bar chatting and socializing, but the girls could see us. So after that whole altercation or interaction, not even altercation, because like I said, Shantae apologized, the girls were mean mugging us through the glass the whole time. So when they go to leave, like it's a section full of girls, where it's three of us standing around a high table, the girl goes to shoulder check Shantae, like she shoulder checks her hard as fuck. So Shantae turns around and she's like, girl, what the fuck, da da da. And I remember watching it and like my telepathy hit it. At the time I only had one pair of glasses. I slid my glasses into my crossbody so fast because I just knew we were gonna have to fight. I couldn't even tell you at this point who hit first, but I know that girl obviously had an issue and she wanted to fight. Wigs on the floor. I will say, when you're getting jumped, the adrenaline that's pumping through your body, you are like a superhuman. You are bionic. You do not feel pain, because I did not actually start hurting until hours after. Like if we got jumped like around 2-3 p.m. that night, it wasn't until 10 at night that I was like, oh my God, my body is hurting. And I was looking down like in the shower, like I had scratches everywhere. My cousin Sabrina got her foot sliced with a blade. I will say I was really big on, I didn't want them to hit my face. So I was roughed up. I had scratches all over my body and I had like a little nick on my ear. And I couldn't even tell you how I got that. I don't even know where that came from. And honestly, that birthday wasn't bad because we ended up going back out the next day. So, YOLO. I feel like if you didn't beat my ass, you didn't ruin my birthday. What is a topic you're excited to explore on an upcoming episode of your podcast? I think something that I'm excited to like talk about, I guess, especially with Jamila, is, this sounds cliche, but like growth. We've been friends since we were roommates in college. And so when you're able to talk with someone and chat with someone about topics who has literally watched you like grow as a person, because obviously I'm not the same person. I'm 28, we're 28. We're not the same person we was when we were 18. So to be able to like dissect and analyze topics from like, when I was 18, I'd have done it like this. But now that I'm 28 and I've been through some shit, I'm gonna do it like this. I'm excited to like have her point out like how I've changed and to be able to point out where she's changed. Like she's a mom. I'm a cousin, like I've taken on my little cousin. And so even like the past year of that, I've seen the growth in myself, having to like, not just think about, oh, I can't go do this or go outside because like it's a kid at home that I gotta take care of. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? As a kid, okay, I did want to be a doctor at one point in time. Then when I was walking home from school in 7th grade, I saw a squirrel get ran over and I couldn't do that. I did go to college. I wanted to be a news anchor at first, but I didn't really like having to change my voice into like my reporter voice. So I couldn't really get my reporter voice together. And the way that my voice sounds like right now, I think that this is ugly. So I didn't want to be on TV having to do that. I also, at one point, I wanted to be an actress. I was a theater minor in undergrad. I definitely auditioned for Sunny with a Chance, which was the show on Disney Channel back in the day. I don't even fucking know what role I auditioned for. But obviously I didn't get it. But I guess I'm kind of doing that. I didn't want to be a talk show host or like a social media person, but I knew I wanted to be in the spotlight. I'm Mecca.
And I'm Jamila, and we have an amazing podcast coming soon called Unhinged and Immoral.
Look for November 7th.
Yes, you asked, we answered. We're doing it.
And we won't have to be boxed in by the community guidelines of TikTok. We don't have to say N-word. We can say nigga.
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 We can cuss. So tune in.
Nigga.
It will be available everywhere.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.